nose to hand touch. Our goal is to develop fluency and fun of hand targeting, building to 2 touches for 2 seconds each. As well as being a trick, nose to hand targets are great for engagement, positioning, stability with duration, and motivation. To start, pretend you have something interesting in your hands. Take your hand down and place it near the dog. If the dog moves towards your hand, mark. Then reward at your target hand. Pretend you have something interesting. Present your hand and then mark and reward at your hand. Once the dog is consistently moving towards and touching your interesting hand, just present your hand and follow the same process. Present your hand and mark and reward each time the dog performs the touch.
Touch! Yes! Good girl!
Another approach is to use a lure with a treat between your fingers. Place your hand near the dog, mark as he moves towards or touches your hand, reward from the other hand but at your target hand. Another alternative is to have a treat in your closed fist and mark and reward for any interest in your fist.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You can also transition to a small flat object in your hand for the dog to nose target.
Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yeah.
Once the dog understands the touch, start moving your hand around to different positions and different levels. This becomes a fun and rewarding game that you can use in a variety of circumstances. Gradually build the duration to 2 seconds per touch. The following are some of the methods of building duration once the dog clearly understands the concept of nose-to-hand touch. You can build duration by withholding the mark. Withhold marking for a fraction of a second after the dog touches. He may then do another touch or a harder touch. Mark and reward that. By progressively building this sequence, he is likely to start offering more duration, in which case have a party. Ask for a touch, mark and reward. Then ask for a touch, withhold the reward and wait for another touch. Progressively you withhold your mark and reward until you get a longer touch. Then you can build a lovely duration of the hand touch on either hand. You can also build duration using Zen food. In other words, ignore the reward and give me duration on the hand touch in order to earn the reward. Cue the hand touch while the other hand holds the reward. he has to ignore the food and do the hand touch in order to earn the reward. If he moves towards the reward, just close your hand or snatch it away. We can also teach understanding of duration by teaching a chin rest. Position the dog and yourself so that you can present your hand under his chin. Hold the reward in your other hand, just in front of and a little below your chin rest hand. My reward here should be lower. Mark when there is contact between his chin or neck and your hand. Deliver the reward low so that he makes even more contact with your hand when getting the reward. You can see here why it would have been better to have the reward lower. Watch for the cute little head dip, reminding me to mark and reward. From building duration of the chin rest, at 4.5 months she was giving lovely duration nose to hand touch. The transition from chin rest to nose to hand touch is achieved by sliding your hand from under his chin up to in front of his nose. Your hand goes from under his chin and slides up in front of his nose. Another way to teach duration is by using a nose bridge. Your fingers provide gentle contact with the bridge of the dog's nose. Initially make the contact very brief, then mark and reward. If your dog is comfortable with this brief contact, then very gradually build the duration of the contact. If your dog is not comfortable with this, try another method. The contact with your fingers is very brief and very light. Now she is actually pressing up into my fingers. Once the dog understands the duration bridge, you can slide your fingers down in front of his nose. By doing that, a nose bridge becomes a nose-to-hand target. At the same time as building duration, you can build your dog's understanding of consecutive touches, with your hand presented in different places and at different levels. Now to pull together all the key elements of the trick. For the setup, the dog is in a stand and is in front of you and facing you. You then give your hand and a voice cue, and the dog performs the touches.
What? Touch. Touch.
The trick is finished when the judge calls that the 2 seconds has been completed. Now for some examples of the nose to hand touch with 2 touches of 2 seconds each.